Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to Where No Man Wants to Go reviews, where we really do suffer for your entertainment because this show, Starfleet Academy, last week we were just bored. And the boredom kind of just washes over. You're just going, when are we done? Are we done? This week, I felt pain this week from the writing, from the complete lack of understanding of concepts that you're trying to tackle, and from the sheer amount of horrible character work. Everything about this show is just wrong. Brad's checking his notes. You got the notes there, don't you, Brad? You got your notes. Yeah. How you doing?
I need to share something with you guys, if you don't mind.
All ears.
All right. 2 weeks ago, we had to go and buy a whole bunch of new appliances.
Okay.
We've hated our fridge. I do not like Samsung fridges. Our oven only partially works right now. We can't use it as an oven. We can barely use the stovetop. Our dishwasher has decided to produce pink sludge. We don't know why. It's not cleaning. So we had to go to Best Buy. It was $4,300. That hurt a lot. So we're excited because next week it's getting all the new stuff in. But I just happened to walk into the kitchen and notice that we cannot get any of the appliances in.
Door frame?
Because the way they installed the fridge and they put a kitchen cabinet next to it. So the fridge, which is like 30 plus inches wide, but it's literally a 28-inch width between the two counters. And I was so upset by this that I read Our Town, and I have processed my anger so much. I feel so much better right now, guys. I have to say, it is wonderful. My life is perfect now. I can go on spring break.
Well played. Well played, sir. Well played.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Scene. Let me take a curtsy.
Did you use jazz hands at all?
Well, I was expecting her to use jazz hands the way she did theater.
Oh my God. We'll get into Tilly in a minute. Yeah. Our Town. I was not the stage manager, but I was stage manager as like a regular stage manager for that play. So I had to sit through an entire season with that stuff. Yeah. Hi, Jed.
Hi, yes, I am here. One thing that I've realized over this week that has been magical for me in connection with this show, I think I've started to develop a defense mechanism against it. I'm reflexively memory holding these episodes as soon as I'm done watching them. So by the time this show comes around a few days later, it feels like it's been a lifetime since I saw the episode. It's the only thing keeping me mentally stable because I'm not reading that play. So it's my way that I have to get through things. But I do have to say, unlike the rest of this show, I think this episode was actually fairly based, guys. Can we agree on that?
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it showed that the best way for a woman to be emotionally mature, stable, and able to deal with drama was to have a father in her life.
I guess a black or a white dad.
Listen, don't question it. Black women just need a good, strong white father.
They just need a daddy.
I got some issues.
Well,
I'm not even touching this one.
You know, we were on a good path, and then he said, "Daddy."
Everyone has daddy issues.
Oh my! Yeah, we listen. This whole thing is just. Anyway, hi Dermot. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. You know, I got my gamer subs that I ordered on Monday has finally came in the mail. So I have like made at home energy drinks now. It tastes fantastic. I have family friends here.
Fantastic, huh?
Yes, it tastes fantastic. I loved it. I already had two.
Just the way you said it with fantastic.
I will say it as gay as I need to. Okay. I have
Easy,
some family
Jaden.
friend- Shut up. I have family friends here right now. They're out on the patio drinking and smoking cigars. Me and my dad. I smell like a
You
balloon.
scream.
And now I'm here thinking I would rather be out there. They're about to go to a church function for charity, and I'm thinking that would be more fun.
No,
Hey.
theater's good for your soul. It's better than church for your soul.
No, they're gonna have alcohol there.
Oh,
That's
just called. That's just communion wine. That's all.
okay.
Well, it is.
Uh,
Listen, it's small
well-
town churches. Bring your own beer.
well, I appreciate your sacrifice for being here.
Yeah, he's my godfather too. I kind of want to go hang out with him.
Oh. Well, maybe we'll finish early. I don't know. We'll see what
Oh,
happens.
he's gonna be gone by then. They leave in 30
Oh.
minutes.
Well, then you'll listen to this. Then you'll yell about VTubers for a couple hours. You'll be fine.
That's actually on the schedule. That's not even a joke. That's on the schedule.
It's not a joke. I was completely serious. When we're done here, you're gonna yell at VTubers, play Final Fantasy. I'm gonna play Voyager, and Jed's gonna play Resident Evil, and well, Brad's gonna go try and cope with having melted this shit down somehow.
I
You'll
got
be
3
Brad's
VTubers
fine.
I'm gonna watch-
to talk about.
Drive to Survive.
Oh, okay. So we all got good plans. We all got plans. Anyway, so
I'd rather be playing
All right.
Slow Tour though.
ooh,
Star Trek.
oh, that's what I like to hear.
Listen,
I like hearing that. Listen, I will probably be playing that later tonight once I'm done Voyager, because I'm on the
I'm
last level.
I'm also almost done
Well,
with
depending on
Starfleet.
how late you do it, I might join you.
Oh well, I'm not going to stream it. It'll be private play. I'm just gonna,
okay.
We'll go. Well, we
You're
can.
just screwing around.
Well, if you stream it, I'll be there. I can't do 2 video game streams in a row. I have to break it up. I got to get the Voyager one in its silo. I can't just halvesy it.
I
Can't
will also
mix your
say-
Star Wars and your Star Trek. Can't do
That's
that.
true. I will also say I am almost done with Stargate Atlantis season 1 and Stargate season 8.
So you got through the storm.
Oh, Storm was so good.
I didn't I
just
tell you Shepard was a badass in that.
And I just finished the one when they meet the 15, Brotherhood of the 15, and all that stuff. And and now I understand why the puddle jumper looked the way it was. It was a time machine because I viewed it out of a little bit.
Oh,
of
you
order.
watched it out of order.
Just a little out of order.
That's
not
the
knowing it.
delicate thing, the balance. You gotta watch that before you watch the final.
All of a
I just
sudden, I see a puddle jumper over here, and it's like, man, that does look.
Yeah,
a little
you
different.
see, you had to
Oh,
see
it's
that before you got the
time
final Jack and Harry episode, because that's the final Jack and Harry one ever.
I forgot that Ronan was not part of the show yet. In the first
Season 2. Momoa is season
Yeah.
2. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. I forgot about that.
But we'll talk Stargate another day. Today we are here to talk
Yeah, we're
Starfleet
here to
Academy.
talk
So
Starfleet.
howdy,
That are good.
howdy to the chat. We are happy to have you guys here. We're glad that you guys are enjoying what we do here. I see there you guys are saying you thank us for the stuff. We do it for you guys. We do it for ourselves. But we also do it for you because you guys shouldn't have to suffer this alone. You should have a place to come where we can give you a version of therapy rather
I call that my
than
bedroom.
go doing theater. What?
Nothing.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on anyway. So welcome one and all. We hope you guys having a nice Saturday evening because it's about to get weird. Because we're gonna talk Starfleet Academy episode 8, where theater solves all your problems in a day. Once again, we have a situation where Brad. Let's recap. How long has it been since the Miyazaki incident in World?
Well, I think as far as I can tell, it's got to be at least 6 weeks at this point. At least 6 weeks.
I said 2 months.
They said
I was close.
It's
They said it was
roughly
a month ago.
there. Yeah, because a month was the last episode. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
But these
and
episodes
they say
can't exist together, though.
No,
If
they're
you
out of order.
change the order of them, and you had to change a few smaller details, like they mentioned
Mhm.
the hollow spa in this episode.
Interima. Yeah.
Yeah, a few details like that. Otherwise, it makes way more sense.
it makes it worse. Jed, you're absolutely right. The whole idea of this episode makes it worse because they say weeks. They say it's been a few weeks since the last episode in the opening conversation between the Doctor and Captain Holly Hunter, and so we know it's been somewhere between 6 weeks to 2 months. It's since the Miyazaki incident, and they've done jack all because suddenly, last week, Jed, you brought it up. Last week, those kids seemed fine. Last week,
They seem fine at the beginning of the episode. All the trauma of the Miyazaki at the beginning of episode 7 was just mentioning, hey, the gay guy from War College is sad, and then he walks in, he's like, hey, you ready to go to Aruba, baby? Completely contradictory. And then Sam having hollow spa issues, and then fixing Ibiza. But that was all that was changed. They all were focused on the episode, and by the end of it, it was all happy, cheery, everything's totally fine. Then this episode's like, they're all on the razor's edge. They're one fuse away from igniting.
Well,
I mean, you could tell,
their
though.
Therapist has been Tech Taeyun, or whatever the fuck her name is.
Oh,
Tignataro.
Two-Ton Tilly. All right.
Well, no,
so,
Tignataro was their first therapist at PE, and she's just yelling at them, saying, get the fuck over it. You're all awful. Get off the fucking...
on the simulation, on the
she's a
Kobayashi
terrible...
Maru.
Well, let's address what exactly that was. First off, I don't understand how that's the kid's fault at all. She's sitting in the command chair. She's the one supposed to be giving orders. They're supposed to be listening. A proper thing would have been a kid in command, kind of like the Kobayashi Maru, someone put in there, but also no first years to be in command. You'd have a third or fourth year in command of the ship. The first years would be running through the systems, doing the exercises. This was just a bunch of kids playing
any difference
computer games.
between seniors and freshmen. There's absolutely no difference in
Here's but wait a minute.
Well,
Hold on. This is the first class of Academy.
Hold on.
There are no upperclassmen.
Okay, hold on.
There's third years.
Hold on.
But from where? The War College?
War College.
Point of order.
Yes, sir.
Point of discovery. Since I'm the only one that watched Discovery.
That's what I was going to push to you next. I was going to do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They actually did mention there was a Starfleet Academy. It was in the Starfleet base in Discovery. So and that's why Tilly was at Starfleet there. What I figured out is, and they talked about this also on FNT and stuff. So it's true that there was a Starfleet Academy before Earth rejoined Starfleet, when Stacey Abrams came and said, we're going to rejoin you, as she represented planet Earth just in size. And there was an actual Starfleet Academy because you had to train officers. It just wasn't on Earth. So I think really what they meant was Starfleet Academy back on Earth, as opposed to Starfleet Academy opening at the Presidio for the first time since the burn. I think that's the only reconciliation you can have, because there actually were...
Do we think they know that, though? I don't trust these writers to remember.
I don't trust these writers to know. I don't either, but you can actually put that together that way. So there should people being trained to be... Right, there should be upperclassmen. But again, all we're concerned about is these first years, and why they're even doing a bridge simulation, I have no idea.
Yeah, and with the
bridge simulation proves that they have the ability. We already knew this from episode 1 when they were mentioning the simulations on the bridge of the Athena, but they are fully able to do these simulations. Why did they go to the Miyazaki in the first place?
Reasons.
It's one of the most irresponsible things to happen in a science fiction show ever is Aki sending the kids to the Miyazaki. It's her fault that kid died. It's her fault everything happened because she's an idiot.
Did someone die?
Some Vulcan and a some other guy who was there.
A commander.
And the teacher, they keep forgetting the teacher died too in front of some of the students. And they want us to care at the last.
Hey guys, we haven't seen I Ate My Comm badge since she saw him dead on the view screen.
Well, she got eaten as well. They decided to jettison him out and then eat her because she would last a long time.
I thought it was just slowing down the ship with the weight.
Well, that also works.
Anyway, so the kids are on edge, and the Doctor and Captain Lee Hunter need backup, so they call in Tilly. Brad, you're the only one who's repeatedly suffered her. I only know it through osmosis by watching other people suffer. Brad, explain to us Two-Ton Tilly.
Lieutenant Sylvia Tilly is what I'm going to call the first version of the neurodivergent character being introduced in Kurtzman Trek. She was introduced as Michael Burnham's roommate on Discovery. And when she first appeared, she actually was a lot heavier than she is now. Well, I mean, in the show. Well, we've seen what she is like now. I did not realize that was Mary Wiseman on the red carpet, honestly, when I saw her. Like, who the hell is...
Ozempic.
Well, I didn't name it. I just said pharmaceutical aid Hollywood loves. Okay. I don't want to get sued. But
we are not medical professionals here.
Listen, she'll just have liver cancer later on.
Yeah. But yeah, she's always been like the quirky, weird character who like speaks abstractly and is extremely nervous and uncertain of herself. So that's the way her character always was, but she always wanted to be a captain. And she's supposed to evolve and become, from being, I think she was ensign at the beginning and then eventually became lieutenant. So it's like a progression of her getting more and more experience. And then eventually she's like, I'm going to become a teacher for Starfleet Academy. And that's what she does, which is why we thought she was actually to be on the show, but she only got the one appearance. My problem is this. My problem is this. She's a science officer. Mm-hmm. There's been nothing in Discovery that indicates any appreciation or training in theater. And she has no counseling ability. Now, I got into a argument with Grok about why the hell you would have Tilly do this. And Grok pissed me off so much, he basically explained how many people see Spock as an autistic character. And I said, fuck you, Grok, and I shut it down.
But have you considered that theater is statecraft and statecraft is theater?
I will say this. I use theater in my job.
There is a certain part of theatrics too.
There are benefits to theater, absolutely.
Yes,
I was a theater kid myself, and there are skills you can learn from it. If nothing else, public speaking. They forgot Jaden has a problem with public speaking in this episode because he had no problem delivering.
They forgot it last episode too. Because remember he made that great speech?
Yeah.
Well, Jaden
he did.
wears a skirt all the time, so that.
And he wore pants once for a hot minute today. And to the point of theater, let's be honest. There's a certain level of theater we do on live stream.
Yeah.
A certain level of theater. We put on a bit of performance.
No,
it's not magic though.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Not you, him. Talking to the gay one. Talking to the gay one.
See, when you pointed, you still pointed at him.
I went like this.
You said no, not you, him.
Shut up.
I have no idea. Who's supposed to shut up?
We need like an arrow.
You know what? No,
Send him backstage.
No. I have the perfect way to make sure that we understand this.
Stop, Wesley.
There, we know who we're talking about now. Just one more time.
My name's Dermy, not Wesley. My name.
No, you're Wesley in the thumbnail. So shut up.
Wait,
anyway,
am I in the thumbnail? I didn't know.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're not on this. You're on. I never changed one. You're in the thumbnail. You are in the thumbnail. See?
Oh.
I'll make you go away for a second. You can see yourself. Well, you saw. See, there you go.
You can't really see.
I know.
Yeah, he's on top of himself.
Oh Lord. Well, listen. We learned yesterday that he does play with himself when he's playing with the Switch too. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's basically Tilly.
Yeah,
The reason why they brought this character in, I have no idea. And I kept trying to press Grok. I'm like, but I don't understand. There are actual counselors in Star Trek. We've seen them. And the response was, but Captain Ake said that we couldn't use conventional counseling. Then why did you bring in someone who has no experience whatsoever, who literally emotionally shames these children?
Yeah, there's a lot of behavior from Tilly in this that is completely unprofessional.
Unethical, I'd say.
That's a good way to put it too. So they all get told to go to theater class. And of course, at the same time, we learned that Princess Tooth is back and she's forced into Starfleet Academy.
Why?
Because she needs to get into the sciences. Because studying science more is more important to her stability than staying with her friends in familiar environments and trying to get back to as much normalcy as possible.
Okay, but here's
these
the thing,
people
Jed.
have no understanding of psychology.
But at the
this
same time,
psychology is terrible.
At the same time, Jed, she gives her meltdown speech later. I was plucked out of this. I can't do that. Miss my friends. Have we seen anything of her life in this show so far?
Why is she a monster?
Why is she a monster?
That is also true. Why?
Who's that? Who's everybody calling her a monster? Who's calling her a monster?
Because that would be objectively bad. I'm not going to lie. That would be wrong.
You could have had a scene where she walked around the corner and like they were talking about her or something, just like drop away scene or something.
Nobody cares about her.
The closest thing is she was walking and there was people whispering something. We don't know. We don't even know if it was about her.
Well, none of them were on the Miyazaki.
Yeah,
and
this show is seemingly allergic to showing versus telling. They're just constantly telling us about the trauma these kids go through, the terrible things that are going on. But there is narrative meat to the idea that this girl can pop your brain at a whim if she wants to. So just having students see her and like gasp and touch their face as they try to run away, hide. Yeah, you could have something there. It'd still be cringe, but at least you'd have something there for her to respond to and see real trauma. They just tell us instead.
That's not a betazoid. That's not how their telepathy works. When you remember how they have telepathy. I mean, the most powerful Betazoid we've seen in Star Trek was Tam with Tin Man, and his powers that he's so hypersensitive to everything that he can't shut it out. It's not he's powerful enough to pop brains like a scanner.
What the thing is though, what they've given, that's what basically she does, but the problem is, I don't think they're really honing in on telepathic ability. At least I don't see how. It's more of a psionic blast.
I was going to say there's telepathy, but then there's psionic abilities, and and I think what it is, it's the same kind of idea of mixing your definitions. Whenever we have the conversations, Jeremy, remember you talk about remaster versus remake. People blur these definitions. I think these people are too stupid to understand that telepathy and psionics are two separate fields of mental abilities.
Just mental ability, period. It's an all-encompassing term to them. And I was very lucky with the timing of my TNG watch. I just watched an incredible empathic TNG episode. It was the season 6 one with the diplomat who connects with Troy and starts making her age with all of his negative emotions funneled into her.
When he's like soul sucking her, basically.
Yeah.
That's
putting
a
his negative emotions
concept.
into her. Yeah.
And it's physically degrading herself. I don't know how she's magically fixed at the end.
It was
the
idea. What happened in that one is everything got backlashed into him when he was making the connection with the new chick, and that's what happened. It just was
and he's not Betazoid.
Yeah, right. He isn't Beta, but just the idea of exploring this type of power set in a fascinating way. It made for a startling comparison.
But it just make it not a Betazoid. Basically, they've made her as a mutant. She's like I say, she's Jean Grey.
Adam, I said this on Wednesday. Not Wednesday, Thursday. We had a perfect example of people with telepathic powers not able to control them or use them properly on frickin' the reincarnated anime that we watched. I can't remember. Jobless Reincarnation.
Yeah.
All it took was 2 episodes, and then you feel for this character whose whole race speaks telepathically to each other, but she can't hear it. She's legitimately deaf telepathically, and this show doesn't even do that. They want you to make her believe that she has no control over these powers, yet she could blow people's brains up, and I don't know how I'm supposed to feel.
It's been done a million times.
Or are you over control of your powers? I don't know. Where this other character, who you get 2 episodes seeing that she can't really control her powers, you feel for her.
Well, it's
and the princess of Beta Z didn't have the top of the line brain chip yet. They had to wait for her to blow some brains before they gave her top level technology.
I don't know. She's not actually a princess, though. I don't think.
I just call her.
She's the daughter of the leader. I call her princess.
And me calling her Tooth wasn't enough, so I combined Jed's term and my own because I can't call these people by their real names.
I call her Titmus.
She is. She very much.
That's what Princess Mulvaney.
And let's be on level here. This actress also has 0 range.
She's not good.
She is.
She smiles like this.
The more she's gotten into this role as the episode's gone on, the less believable she is. She has 0 chemistry with the guy playing Caleb.
Yeah,
the romance. It's cringe, and
she's jealous of Genesis.
Okay, all right.
The drunk scene had so many lesbian.
All right.
They're 100% going to eat each
other.
Here's the thing, though.
It would improve the show.
Here's the thing.
It's a real love triangle.
Now, all right. Now, here's the thing. The chick playing Genesis is hot. She's hot.
Oh yeah,
she's attractive. The chick playing
full lips.
Sarima is not.
Looking sometimes.
I think it's the makeup.
It's the makeup, I think, too. Point is this, though. I talked about this last week. We talked about this where the show started to dip their toe into, Caleb Genesis, maybe, but then they ruined it by having her just using him. This is something they teased way back in the beginning. They forgot about it, and now, like everything they do, they're trying to shoehorn it in, and suddenly Trima going, you'd be more happy with Genesis. First of all, outside of today, when have those two shared a single conversation in this show?
I don't think once.
Genesis and her?
These writers don't communicate with each other. Wait, they're not reading each other's scripts.
That's true, but not as much as she and Sam. She and Sam are bestie buds.
Nothing. Yeah, again, no screen time. But actually, Jed, you say these writers aren't talking. You know who one of the writers to this week's show was? The showrunner, Gaia. The showrunner wrote this episode this week. Co-wrote
The
this episode.
showrunner forgot that they already moved past everything with the Miyazaki, the episode prior.
No, you know what I think happened? I think they realized that they didn't touch on trauma, and then they suddenly had to touch on the trauma, and this was their
Adam,
Band-Aid.
I think you're thinking way too hard into this. I think the reality is they wanted an episode for theater because in Hollywood they think theater is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So they're in a high school, so we need a theater moment because
right.
they're theater.
It's the
kids.
best tool for political change.
So
Yes.
to get us back on track, the theater, Two-Ton Tilly comes in, and her idea to give them psychotherapy is for them to choose a play and talk about it.
And
Now,
theater is a mandatory subject.
Mandatory.
Starfleet.
She will fail
If you
them.
fail theater, they'll fail the semester, she said. She specifically said they
Yep.
fail the semester if they fail this
telling
class.
you, they have
And
a
they're
hard
given
on
like a
theater.
week to do this play. Like, we don't get a whole, like, when
They
is
were-
this play supposed to be performed?
It wasn't performed. It was just to read and discuss. There was no performances going on. This was supposed. It's
But
remember
what is
again.
this
It's all.
class?
It's all
It's literature.
A facade for psychological medication. I don't know how to put this. Therapy, whatever.
To be
Junk
fair, there are
therapy.
people who can have emotional clarity by doing theater, but that's a very specific person who does it maybe accidentally, but it's not the purpose of theater, and not everyone's going to work that way. Tilly doesn't
But-
seem to realize that everyone is kind of different, that they're not
Yeah.
all her.
which is why they should not be doing this as a group. There is
No.
definitely a time, for instance, like in the Winter Soldier, the way Sam got introduced was he was running group therapy sessions for people with PTSD. But you think they all just start there? No, they've probably been through other counseling. So these kids need individual counseling. Our individual counseling is not working. The traditional methods aren't working. So we're going to bring in a scientist from Discovery because
What?
she's a fan favorite.
What
fan?
individual counseling? All
But
we
oh,
saw is
Jeremy,
Mary-
you make them express their feelings in front of everybody, and you get cured.
you know what?
I mean,
would've
I've
been
done
happy
therapy.
with-
That's what I did.
I would have been happy with just send them to a holodeck with a holodeck Deanna.
That would have been a good cameo in a good show. That would have been a good way of
Oh.
doing it.
That has been done in a show called Voyager. When Barclay started getting obsessed with the Voyager, who shows up? Deanna
Takes
Troy.
a walk on the beach. He interrupts her vacation with Will
Yes.
on Ryza.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, Stargate.
Barkley's such a great character.
And Deanna's doing everything she can to get him to go away.
I mean, to take it to Stargate for a second, there's the wonderful episode with Teal'c when he's coming to grips with the fact that he no longer has his symbiote, and he's having to deal with all other beings that have it, and he thinks that he's lesser when he's having these emotional breakdowns. Plus, I recently saw the episode when he's stuck in the game, so he's thinking that there's no way to actually beat the Goa'uld, and he's constantly convinced that it's just gonna fail left, right, and center. So he's
That's a
stuck in this
great
game,
one.
slowly dying.
Well,
There's better
are
ways to do
writers-
this trauma that
Well,
they're
good
incapable of
writing.
actually tackling.
It's good
You
writing.
ca- yeah.
They know how to do it. They know how to do it.
Hell, even Gundam has better ways to tackle trauma and loss and everything. For crying out loud, take it to Seed.
Yeah.
When he's struggling with the fact that he's finally killing people, he's a dick who's just sitting in the destiny.
Mhm.
Not the destiny, it was
The freedom.
the freedom.
Yeah,
at the time.
Kira
Yeah.
wouldn't leave the freedom. Yeah, Kira
Yeah.
would not leave the freedom. Yeah. But that's the thing. Good writers, good showrunners, and when you get a good director for an episode, they know how to make this shit work. We have none of that on this show. They think everybody going to class and melting down and being flippant and being rebellious is how to do it. And it's a sham. And it doesn't help when you start the whole thing having Gaiden come out in his skirt and do a very gay bath after talking about eating testicles.
It's called a curtsy.
Mm.
That's actually called a curtsy.
Brad, you're a little hot. You're a little hot on the mic there.
Oh, sorry.
No, yeah, he's wearing leggings again with the skirt. I can't get over that.
I can't get over seeing him in the skirt. And again, here's the weirder thing. He's talking about a Klingon play where they basically kill a man and then feed him to his entire tribe when he's a pacifist.
Hold on. Another thing. First off, we again got confirmed the quadra testicles.
Oh, you're right. You know, I heard that and I didn't know if they were talking about. I kind of just moved past it quickly when I heard that.
I thought they were
This-
talking about like a heart. I didn't hear that.
No.
No.
Would
There
you
were
you know
quads.
the lore, right, Dermy?
I
They have
wanted
two
to make
cockpits.
a Mass Effect joke with a Krogan have quads, and I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to move past this but you're right. They're trying to reinforce the Klingons.
And again, it was I looked it up because I'm like, where did this start? I knew it started in Discovery, and I knew it goes back to the episode where that doctor, the unethical doctor, does some dangerous surgery on Worf when he gets paralyzed, and that's where we learn that Klingons have redundant organs.
Redundancy, so that's a system thing. It's not
Right.
It's not like
It's not everything is otherwise. And I said in my video, I'm like, if they had 2 of everything, they'd have 4 arms, 4 legs, 2 heads, 20 fingers.
Why
I said,
does
this
it-
is ridiculous.
Why
if
do I
Worf
need to
had
know-
2 dicks, Jadzia would have made a joke.
Why
Yes.
would I need to know that they have 2 dicks or not? This is the question I must answer. Why is this relevant?
That
to
would mean
them
Klingon
as a species?
females have 2 vajayjays.
Yes.
No, they can still have 1 vajayjay. It's always a shocker.
Do they have 2 assholes? Do they have 2 stomachs? I mean, cows have 2 stomachs.
Morn has 4 stomachs.
That's right. You got to keep your latinum somewhere.
I like to joke that I have a couple stomachs.
Yeah, very simple because it's gross. It's very simple because it's gross.
Did I ask Rob about
But
this?
so, and then Jaden is summarily ejected from the episode because he's got the sniffles.
which
that was
cannot
the-
be cured.
That was the
Yeah,
You
well,
have
they
to
send him
isolate.
straight to quarantine. This is a
Yes.
future where in TNG they confirmed that the common cold has been cured. They can hypospray anything. They can reattach bone, fix cuts and stuff with the scanner, basically. You go to sick bay and figure it out. And then if it's something insane, of course you can go quarantine. But I felt like it was a COVID thing. Just a
It was totally a
bold-faced
COVID
COVID thing.
Ugh.
It's like, oh, you got the sniffles, go to your room and quarantine till it's all better.
Isolate.
Hopefully your
What?
roommates don't get
Well,
sick.
he was there for a day because this
They
episode
have
takes place
fucking
over 2
force
days.
fields that decontaminate. They have decontamination force
days or
fields
3
in
days?
sick
Go to
bays.
sick bay.
Go
It's
to
a
Why-
cold. Go to sick
Well,
bay.
guys, hold on. Sickbay has to be left for the fact that at the end of this scene, when they choose our town, Sam reveals her she can't control her glitching anymore, and she goes
there
to
could have been
Caesar.
I will say this without spoiling how it ends. There could have been an actual good story along.
I said
with
that last
them
week.
Doing that.
I said that last week that
even
they
right
should
now,
have.
The actors couldn't
okay,
carry
that-
it.
They should have spent more
Well, yeah.
time with her thing. I think, okay, that could have been an episode dealing with her malfunctions or glitches, and this is not the way to do it.
There's
Well,
no
they,
way that
they
actress
finally
could
do
carry
it,
that.
and they do it poorly to the point that I will say it's the better storyline, even though I think it's plot B. But it's only better because of Robert Picardo. That's legitimately the
I
only
wouldn't
thing
say-
better.
Better.
He-
It's just
He put in
does his-
effort.
yeah,
He's a
He does
talented
his
actor.
job
yeah,
well.
and, yeah.
But as I said, a great actor can only read what a poor writer writes.
And I said that
Mm.
too. It's only Picardo could, in reference to that, he could only do as much as the writers give him. And
I'm
real
not
quick,
saying-
But
no, go fish off.
I was
So
just
go-
going to say something for later. I
Oh,
said I want to
okay.
save something about Picardo for
Okay.
later because I have a
so
serious
do I.
problem with Picardo.
I have a serious problem with that whole section of this of the
Yes.
Picardo Doctor Voyager stuff. Whole section. Real quick though,
I have no
Unholy
problem.
Holy Warrior for $2. Shekels with you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, some great shekels.
Anyway, so now we get the split. And once again, I said this. I'm going to say the same thing I said last week on this. What's the A plot? What's the B plot?
I think A plot is theater. B plot is what's going on with Sam. If that's my best bet.
I'd
I
lean
think
the
it's
other
just
way.
trauma.
Yeah,
Trauma.
Well,
Various
I could
various
see-
You
versions. of
shouldn't need to
trauma.
have this debate
No,
on what's the A plot and the B plot.
Exactly.
But the-
You shouldn't
Well,
even have to wonder.
Right, but exactly because whenever we talk on DS9, what's the A plot? What's the B plot? Like last week, we had the A plot was I'm just remembering the B plot. I like the B-
Barile dying.
Oh, that's right. So Boral's dying, and then the B plot is Jake getting a date with Lark Voorhees and Nog becoming the third
He
wheel.
went
and
full
gets laid-
Ferengi.
Yeah, he went full Ferengi
Full Ferengi.
at the dinner, and he was trying to make the girl he got set up with chew his food and everything. And it was like they were falling apart as friends, and like they reconcile. But it's a humor, it's fun. That's what the B plot has always been in Star Trek: a very serious A plot, and then a light or less serious B plot.
And also, I put forward last week that this was also them re-injecting Nog back into the series because he had been absent for most of the season, and this week is a massive important Nog plot where he's now going to be on track for Starfleet. So I think that it was also last week. Hey, let's reintroduce Nog. Let's have a little fun because now he's going to be a player going forward. But this one, Jed, that's a great point. You shouldn't have to wonder what's the A plot, what's the B plot if it's well written. And you don't merge them. Plots can come together later, but there should be clear delineation. Okay, this is the focus of the episode, and this is something that's going on just below it, which adds to it, but it doesn't. I mean, there are plenty of times in TNG where there's a plot going on, and maybe you got a Data subplot, and Data learns a lesson that he applies to or learns a lesson from the overall A plot that he applies to his personal B plot. That happens a few times, and that's a good way to mix and match it. But this one, it doesn't, and we get this whole thing of Sam.
They're so thematically similar that they don't even feel tonally different. Like Brad was talking about, A plot and B plots are really good at giving narrative inflection to the episode, the classic highs and lows. This one was just drama. Oh, it's over.
I kept saying emotional damage. So
all right, so question: do we want to talk theater, or are we going to go in direction of Sam here? Because I want to talk. I don't want to go back and forth. I want to stay focused.
I think the theater one's going to be quick because it's
okay.
Because the theater one pisses me off.
All right, so we'll deal with theater. Go ahead.
Yeah,
the theater one's just really about fucking no boobs and her no longer feeling like connected and all her trauma, and yet everybody else has trauma, even her brother. So we never really see what their trauma truly is. And they're constantly talking about our town and how it revolves around them. Because in the reality, this whole story is just our town.
But she's
pretentious as hell. I talked about this in my review. It felt like the writers were like, I know theater. We're so much better than everybody else. It's this type of mentality that's ruined the term media literacy. This is why people hate that term now, because the fans, the writers of this episode will go, oh, you didn't like it? Then you didn't get it. You don't have good media literacy. When it's just pretentiousness. It's the classic joke explanation, the Red Door in Shakespeare. It's actually meaningless, but pretentious people act like it's some deep thematical thing. And that's exactly what this entire episode is they act pretentious to make themselves feel smart. Because we're always telling these writers that they're fucking morons, and so they need to pat themselves on the back.
And what they're doing, Jed, is they're forcing these character relationships didn't exist. We already mentioned it. They're forcing us to have suddenly Sam and Princess Tooth have a relationship. They're forcing us to have Genesis and Princess Tooth have a relationship when these people haven't shared one word with each other.
They're all best as friends.
And I mentioned that last week, how I thought, that they didn't have enough episodes. And then Dermy called down and he said, well, what about, Night of the Seven Kingdoms? And I said, actually, that's correct. But then you have people actually writing well. So I pointed that out on my review. I said, I thought they didn't have enough episodes to develop the characters. I said, Dermy pointed out that, hey, go look at Night of Seven Kingdoms. There's 6, 7 episodes. They develop characters. When you write well, you can do it.
Yeah.
But they're not writing this well. These are all just... This is just one-dimensional characters like Caleb, Space Rat, Turima, Telepathic Trauma, Genesis Live, Stripper who wants to be captain, Fish Boy, gay guy who's wants the other gay guy who's a Klingon.
Closeted gay guy.
Yeah.
No, he's pretty polycule boy. Cuck, beta cuck, because he got divorced by his wife out in the night because he wasn't beta enough. So they're all very cardboard cutouts, but I've actually thought Tarima was right in the scene to call out Tilly. Like, you just want us to throw our emotions out there just so that you feel like we've explored our trauma. She's right, because that's all she was doing. They were just like, and my character says this. Yeah, I'm feeling the same.
I need Jed to come back.
And then they look off to the sky. It's kind of like,
Jed, it's not your fault.
Oh, I said that in mine.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
I was trying to find the clip, the clip from Family Guy, where
I'm going straight to the actual movie, Robin Williams and Matt Damon going, "It's not your fault."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Your
But
fault.
I was
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
I was just going with the Family Guy one
Yeah.
because I thought it was funny.
It's not your fault.
But
Not your
again,
fault.
that's the scene where she's like got them all in. It's not even the auditorium. It's like the atrium. It's not a classroom. They're all
Mhm.
just sitting like it's like the steps outside of the school where you go for recess.
And note that part. At the same time, it's as though when they're in there, the rest of the world just goes away. Nothing interacts. Or
How many students are there? They're so
Apparently there's a
inconsistent.
lot.
There's this
Yeah.
8, and then in the
Did you
Miyazaki episode,
notice
they're like,
the
there's
two-
100.
Did you notice the two randos that they dumped into the class afterwards? After Sam was gone, they dumped two randos in there who just sat in the back and said nothing.
Do you remember that weird alien creature when Sam comes back?
Yes.
There was a
With the
weird.
head?
It looks like stereotypical alien.
Oh,
That
it
Maeve
looks like a
girl.
girl.
Maeve, she's super popular.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it had a skirt. Because I was
it looked
counting.
like stereotypical alien that came out of nowhere and apparently is a chick because it had tits and a skirt.
It actually looked like something from Mass Effect. But when that came on, I cut it from my video. I was like, okay, there's a woman, there's a woman, there's a woman, there's a Muslim woman.
There's the Hajib. There's
Yeah.
there's
Oh, there was one with a hajib.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, Dermy, you didn't see episode 1. She's been there since the first episode.
Wait,
Mhm.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was in the crowd of the new recruit academy. We made fun of that.
Well, they had a
A month
cadet in a
ago.
wheelchair then as well.
Yeah, we haven't seen the wheelchair
he
kid for
died.
a while.
He
No, we
had
That
to
was
have
a she.
died.
Well,
She.
she. But yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
the chick in the Hajib.
Yeah.
The Hajib. Yeah,
I completely blanked that out of my head because I don't ever see.
This is like the
Hajibs.
third or fourth time we see her. She just shows up to be there.
So we had
So-
that whole scene there, but then in the end, they all have kind of like mourning Sam because I think they found out she died, and they decide to read the play, and then
They
they
think she
cures
died.
themselves.
They think she died.
I don't even know if they'd
know.
communicated that to them. I don't
They
know.
didn't.
'cause
No,
no one has
whole
any concept
the
of time
whole
or
thing
space.
was that they weren't hearing anything, so
Yeah.
they think that it's bad news. So there go, Sam's dead. That
Yeah.
now has-
But before that, we have to talk about two things. First, Judas Goat Barbecue for $5.
Mhm.
And
I
why
can
is
explain
Fishboy back to being a bully? It's
I
like
can
these different
explain this.
characters.
Actually,
Go for it,
is it-
Jeremy. Go for it.
it's really easy. They want to say that he's trauma, and this is his way of coping with trauma. That is quite literally why they are doing that. So now
Mhm.
his way of dealing
Cool.
with trauma is to be a jackass to everybody around us,
Again.
even though
I
They're
think that's
willing to
part of
pervert the
it,
type.
but the writers don't talk to each other. So this writer probably didn't
That's-
know that he's been through an emotional journey in the wedding episode.
Mhm.
I think,
But the showrunner wrote the episode.
But the
That's
question though is, how are they running the show? Do they run it the way
Yeah.
Michael Pillar and Ira Stephen Bear did back in the day, where they have the whiteboard, they have all the writers in there? Are they actually working out ideas? Do they keep the
Probably
ideas on
not.
the board? Is there a Bible? No. It
No,
really feels like all these writers are like, this is the episode I want to tell, and I'm going to fit the characters in because they're one dimensional. They can do whatever I need.
The
Mhm.
other thing is
That's
I could-
100% true.
I could argue that he could be having trauma from the whole wedding thing. That he is now dealing with all of his, like, the fallout of that, having to deal with his emotions.
You're
not
thinking
coming
about it
together.
more than the writers
Yeah, I'm
did.
thinking about it.
Well,
more
that
than
would
they are.
And
personal
I-
But
you
therapy.
know what I was
because
thinking?
I'm a better writer than them, and I'm not a great writer.
I was thinking he's frustrated because he can't go sleep with Jaden.
That
Yeah.
that
That's
could
what I was
also be
thinking.
it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
another angle.
jealousy. That's absolutely
Jealousy.
part of it.
That's what
But
I think. That's
Blue
what
I
I
think
was
this show
referring
is
Oh,
set
it's
up
Blue
like
Balls. He's
the
full of
the
fish.
Disney Plus shows. When the Disney Plus shows were first starting to come out with like WandaVision, that initial
Mhm.
era of Marvel shows, they
Mhm.
talked about how they don't have showrunners. They have head writers.
Mhm.
And that's why there's such a lack of continuity. There's a head writer, and that head writer is just the writer doing the most episodes.
Mm.
So I think it's the same way here, where
Possibly.
there's not one Grand Poobah
Possibly.
in charge directing the series Bible who's brainstorming with everyone. I doubt these writers even get a room together. The writer's room is metaphoric in this one.
I mean,
Well,
the
I mean,
greatest
even when it-
example of continuity on any show is going to have to be B5 because JMS basically wrote the entire thing.
Mhm.
How many
So
years ago was
that's
it when
one writer.
we started getting like the Disney leaks on how like writing? I think it was prior to the
It's probably
the
22.
Right.
It's probably
No,
22.
Might have
it was
been-
before.
either-
It was before D plus.
No,
It
it was
was-
during the D plus era. This is when like Film Thread and all them started like having all these articles come out about how writing actually works in Hollywood. How Jed's. I'm leaning towards Jed's position where the writing room is all done via committee. So they are all voting on this, and yet they all aren't even in sync because they have no one person in charge of it all. So they're all just chaotically throwing shit out there, thinking that they're putting out like Shakespearean arts, when in reality, I wouldn't even use it to flush down the toilet after I make a mess.
Well, they're putting out vapid platitudes that sound profound, and they're like, the whole every conversation. I'm like, I'm literally, because I've got the subtitles on. I'm looking at the words. I'm like, I don't see how these words connect. They're just putting large words together to sound smart.
There's an argument to be made that this was written by AI.
I think it's worse than AI. I think it's even worse than AI. I can force AI to write better.
But the whole and thank you, Judas, for that, for the $5. But you understand this, where you should be able to understand the true trauma and true feeling of these characters well written. But their way to do it, let's have Tarima get drunk and then try to have sex with Caleb in the middle of a hallway where anybody can walk by. And then when he wants to be a gentleman about it, and I'll give Caleb points there, be a gentleman. Let's not do this. You're in a bad place.
You're drunk.
And then two bad things happen with the writing. One, she has an improper meltdown using story-driven evidence that has not been presented well at all between a love triangle that doesn't exist. And two, suddenly Caleb gives a speech. Man, being in Starfleet Academy is like a chemical assaulting you over and over again, and it breaks you down, and you're in a warm, comfy bed.
That's an example of the words. It's like they stuck a bunch of. I'm like, none of these words make sense. What are you talking about?
Doesn't mean anything. And half of the Princess Mulvaney and Caleb scenes are just contrived drama. It's like, they haven't had a fight in a few minutes. She makes up something and they fight about it. This happens nearly every single one of their episodes.
And he becomes the villain when she's the actual villain. Go ahead, Doris.
Yes. I was going to say, like, there's a reason for her being that way, but I want to go back to Caleb for a second. What's Caleb's thoughts on Starfleet?
Now he loves it. It's worn him down. His story arc has been not there.
Every other episode,
he loved it at the end of the last episode.
Every other episode, he's been saying how much he hates Starfleet. And I go back to the Miyazaki incident, where when they're talking about the fucking comic book, he openly says it's Starfleet propaganda built to make kids love Starfleet. Why? Why does, out of nowhere, is he just so willing to work alongside Starfleet and say, you know what, we're doing a good thing here? Why?
He smiled at some fireworks in the last episode. That was them saying that he's accepted his place here. I'm not kidding. That's legitimately, they think that was the character arc in the last episode.
And Unknown Warrior's telling us some important stuff here from his own life about really dealing with real trauma, true trauma, the trauma of actually seeing real war. And it is a joke what they're doing this. It's a complete and total joke. This is, and I said that at the beginning of my review this week. I said, listen, trauma is a real thing. I've suffered some trauma in my life, not to the extent of war trauma, but I've had trauma in my life. It doesn't get solved overnight. It does take time, but you can't ignore it. And the show has ignored it until it realized, oh shit, we ignored it. Let's do something to fix it.
They don't define the trauma properly because, first off, if anyone's going to have trauma among that, Jaden's not there. He should have trauma. He was on the bridge when Bobby got killed. You never heard the dude's name mentioned, Bobby. You don't even see Caleb, who Bobby sacrificed himself for.
Yeah.
He's not talking about it. He's more upset that Princess Tooth is not paying attention to her. And then, hey, what the F is Occam's trauma? Where the hell was he? He wasn't on the bridge. He wasn't on the Athena bridge. He wasn't on the Miyazaki. Where's his trauma front? He's traumatized. Why?
And Caleb, how about the fact that she shot a psionic banshee well through his brain that killed people? Maybe that
was the conduit for a mass slaughter. Yeah, I mean, it was justified. You had to defend the kids, but even when you're doing justified killing, morally upstanding people still struggle with that. And when you have to do something horrible, you should wrestle with it.
We'll take it to Adam. I'll take it back to Gundam for a second.
Okay.
Where's all the dealing with the trauma and stuff? Take it to Gundam Seed. Fuck, I can't remember the guy who's in charge of Destiny. Fuck, what's his name?
Wait, you mean Shin?
Yeah, Shin. All Shin's trauma.
50 episodes of fucking trauma.
His entire story is trauma over how he lost his entire family over the battle of
Saw them blown to bits.
saw his goddamn
Picked up his
favorite little sister's
arm. Holding it.
Holds his phone every single night,
Trapped
listening
in the
to
past.
those messages, trapped in the past, and all that. You don't have that here. You don't have them actually having to tackle these things. You don't have take it to jobless reincarnation again. You don't have Paul, even though he's a scummy dude. Even like scummy, he's still struggling with the fact that his entire family's gone and he has no way to figure out where they are. That's one of the reasons he starts going down that dark path and becoming more of a drunk. You have nothing there. It's just magically now they're all shitty people that hate everybody and are dealing with stuff. Even the fucking brother goes like, I'm not okay. I'm not okay.
And Brad just brought up a good point. What is he not okay about? He wasn't involved in any of this shit.
He was on the bridge.
He feels bad for his sister.
But
like my sister's struggling.
He was not on the away team. He was not on the bridge of the Athena.
He was on the bridge because he was the one that told them about her abilities to pop heads.
He was on the ship. He was on
the Athena's bridge.
He was just on the Athena.
No, he was not on the Athena's bridge.
He was on the Athena. He was
on the Athena. He was not on the bridge.
No, but he was on the Athena's bridge when they brought both of them onto the bridge.
Well, he
but
he wasn't.
He made appearances, but during the battle, he wasn't stationed there.
He was there to exposition dump about her blowing out her dad's ears.
Yes.
That's what he was there for.
We're all on the same page.
He wasn't stationed there,
Point is this, though. You guys have all brought up an excellent point about this. They haven't even identified what their trauma is. Caleb had a guy die in his arms taking a hit for him. And Caleb hasn't had any problems at all. In this whole episode, Caleb isn't suffering at all in this episode. Like Brad just said, he's more upset that Terima isn't giving him the time of day in the beginning.
Which you could have something interesting with that, because he had the worst childhood, I think, of all of them, living on the run with criminals, committing crimes. I'm sure he's seen death before. So you could go into that and say, Jed, I've seen this before.
He has something
just
worse than that.
Hardened.
He has something worse than that. He has She-Hulk mommy issues.
I think the best person to deal with trauma here would end up being Jaden. And I say that as slightly as
because
a joke,
his two dads left him
because
space cigarettes.
Actually, he saw his brother die. Like he actually saw his brother die via that poison,
and he could have helped him.
Well, he could have helped him. There was like a whole story arc there and how he dealt with that. But they did that all in the Klingon episode, and they never once brought it back.
They forgot about it.
The Klingon would not have. The trauma would have been that my brother did not die in battle.
Klingons
that
have two dicks, how are both of them having sex with his mom?
We're not. This is Kurtzman Trek.
All right, but
Jadzia did not get two dicks.
She did not. At least not in that.
Not at once.
Anyway, point is this though. When they all come to the end of this whole trauma thing after Tilly browbeats them in class and shames Terima.
Yeah.
They all decide to, in the middle of the night, just a day. This has been going on for 2 days, just for 2 days. In the middle of the night, just to have a sit down and a read, and they read the play, and everything's fine.
Read the play for Sam because we all love Sam magically.
All right, so there it is. There's my transition to the other part of this, because you know what Genesis trauma is? Sam's not there.
But yeah, that the weirdest thing though, prior to that, is because Sam ends up picking the play because she's the favorite magically. About finality and stuff, but Genesis was actually pissed off that her present from Sam was a toothbrush.
Because you missed the joke where she dropped her toothbrush in the toilet.
No,
I saw that. For the move-in.
I saw that, but she was pissed off that her present was the toothbrush, and what No Tits present was becoming Emily in the play. But
she shouldn't have the authority to make that happen.
No, she shouldn't.
But then Genesis got the role anyway at the end.
But
she's perfect.
At the same time, when they're talking about Sam because they think Sam is dead, she holds up the toothbrush and goes like, this. Why was your present a toothbrush? Well, it's Sam. It's a Sam thing. She gets so excited for toothbrushes that this is her way of showing that she loves you. You were pissed off that you got the toothbrush. You were furious that your gift was a toothbrush.
I didn't think she was upset.
She did seem annoyed.
She was annoyed because he dropped it in the toilet in the first place.
Because
I'd be annoyed if it was the same toothbrush. Yeah. If you didn't give me a
her
new
exact
one,
words to Titless was, "Oh, so you got Emily and I got a tooth."
It was more about Princess Mulvaney getting Emily.
But the point is this, though. Once again, now to connect the things, we get another Nothing from Genesis episode where she's just told repeatedly how great she is, and her whole thing is
that's
Sam.
her trauma.
And now let's talk about the other plot. I'm not going to call it Airbill. The other plot, the Sam plot, the malfunction
The other
plot.
trauma.
And you know what her trauma is? Her trauma is she doesn't have a dad.
Well, she doesn't have a
That's her
childhood.
trauma.
She
Have a
doesn't have a
child.
She didn't have a child.
Brad, how many times did you make jokes about she's been alive for a handful of days and she's a 17-year-old?
Yeah. Well, we learned a little bit about the calculation, which then, when you really think about the calculations from how long it passes on their weird planet of Cask compared to real life, she's actually much older.
But they don't say it.
What time dilation or like
that's Cask. It's a giant metal vag in space.
It's a weird looking thing.
Yeah,
my head hurt looking at that thing.
Did you like the music? Duh, as they were heading towards it. Duh.
Yeah. It's like, oh look, it's recycling Prometheus sounds. But I also liked how the writers were very brave and decided not to actually display Cask and just said, we're going to imitate your world so you feel comfortable, as opposed to like really being brave and saying, here's a totally alien species.
But they would have to do something creative and design an alien world.
But it was brave, Jed, not to be creative.
All right.
And it was just a giant, colorful entity was all they came up with, the makers. And somehow they got Chiwetel Ejiofor for the voice.
He was in the last one.
It has been 100 years their planet time since she told them to fuck off 3 episodes ago.
They've had time to cope.
They've mellowed.
They would have to do something like Atlantis, where they give you a planet basically of just fog, and the fog creatures are the actual species, where they then go in your mind and make you think of something happy while they kill you. They're not capable of doing that. They're not capable of actually having those discussions. They just want to show you what it is. But black and white, by the way, world, because that's when you start realizing, oh, they're trying to be pretentious. And,
it's about
it's like our town
color. So here's the point, though. Oh, go ahead. Go.
Oh, just following off what Brad said about them being very brave in the writer's room. It was very brave of them to replace their retarded statement of the last 2 episodes that a hologram was permanently damaged because it got shot, to switching that to a hologram is damaged because she doesn't have the tools to deal with trauma. Well, that her friends are sad. She can't handle her friends being sad.
No,
Go.
I actually think there is, as stupid as it can be, I do think there was a story there to say that.
There is.
Because there is this element that in Star Trek that, your robotics, your holograms and stuff like this, they do have some form of humanization to them. So there is an element of a story that you could end up telling there. They're just too retarded to actually tell that story.
Here's the problem. They started off the whole season with Sam worshiping the Doctor as the oldest living hologram. And then they ran away from that for 7 episodes. They haven't had a single interaction since.
Did feel, considering I came in 4 episodes later, it felt very weird with that. The only other
you missed one conversation.
The only other interaction they ever had was when she got drunk and he said, deal with it.
And that's it. That is the accepted conversation. So, Jeremy, you're right when I agree with you, because I said this myself in my interview. There could have been an actual character relationship arc of these two coming together and the Doctor becoming a surrogate guardian of sorts, a true mentor to her. But they didn't do any of that legwork. So what did they do? They shoehorned it and rushed it in a montage, because this whole thing now is about, she's not sad about the trauma from the S.U.A.C. She's sad because the Doctor won't be her dad mentor, and she just keeps repeating things in her head, and her processor
I think it's more than
much. Well, it is. It's a little bit, but
it's not just the Doctor. It's just she doesn't know how to process emotions because she didn't get a childhood.
But according to Hal Hunter, because you get the resilience from childhood, and my response was, well, all the other idiots in there seem to have childhoods. They don't seem to be processing it well either.
You don't get resilience from childhood. You get resilience from life. Just growing up, going throughout.
You get resilience from trauma. You get resilience from experiencing trauma.
Your childhood can give you those experiences, but it depends on the childhood. A childhood where she's raised by the doctor in a cushy, quarantined environment while he's just smiling at her for 17 years is not going to be any more beneficial.
It's going to be worse.
But it was. She has a dad now.
But wait, what Jed just said, the cushy environment of a family. We saw this, and Adam talked about it, and I talked about it too. I forgot the name of the episode, but I remembered the episode in Voyager where the doctor created a family for himself. And I described it as like a 1950s idyllic family. Father comes home. Father is home. Husband, how did your day? Wonderful. I've made dinner for you. Children, how was day? It was day, Father. We did well in school. That's the life the doctor set up for himself. And I thought it was Tom Paris that effed around with it. Turned out to be B'Elanna. She said, that's not a real world. She created a real family for the doctors, had like actual issues as a family. And then the daughter ends up dying. Now, here's my problem. This is what I said earlier. Here's my problem. You're telling me that the doctor has spent the last 800 or 900 years living with the trauma of a holographic character that he spent a week with on the holodeck dying, as opposed to the 7 years he spent with Voyager, however many years after he spent with that crew, how many other years he spent with all the other characters. Yes, he should, and we said it before, the doctor is the doctor from Doctor Who. He goes on, people die. He can be upset about it. He can try to distance himself because we've seen the doctor, not EMH, the doctor try to push people away. And that's would have been fine if they'd explained, he's like, I just don't feel like getting attached anymore. It's too much for me. They could have done that in a way. And Picardo could deliver that. You can see that he wants to deliver that. But they don't know how to write it. It's just, I had a family once in a holographic program and my daughter died and I'm traumatized by it. You know, I'm not traumatized by the fact that, you know, all this awful shit happened to my best friend 709, who I helped raise to be inhuman. You know, I'm not traumatized about, you know, Cass leaving. I'm not traumatized about any of this stuff. I'm traumatized because of the character.
Let Dermy go, and then I want to say something. Go, Dermy.
I because I don't know a whole lot of Star Trek lore, so Brad actually kind of was going to correct what I was going to say, but I was going to give some pushback that there is something different, though, in the way that when you're, even though it's a holographic kid and it's a fake kid, whatever, dies in your arms, there is something different to how you react to that. And I do point to Jack O'Neill from Stargate, because even though he has been through all this trauma, I think it was either season 7 or season 8. I saw the episode recently. I don't remember. Somebody brings up like his son, even though he has Charlie, even though he's been going through all this stuff, he goes like, yeah, I'm not ready to even tackle that. I'm not ready to tackle that. And then when he gets asked, hey, if Charlie was still alive, would you be here? He goes like, no.
The Charlie stuff is something they touch on periodically throughout all of it, and then Jack found a place, which I put it away. But you're right about that. But here's the thing: Brad brings up a great point. Brings up a fantastic point that I brought up myself. I as Brad, I didn't remember the episode at all. I had to go check it up and I admitted in my review I forgot this episode. But here's how I look at that as them choosing this episode. And here's the difference, Jeremy, to what you said. Yes, it can be traumatic, talk about that, but that whole episode is essentially a forgettable episode in the whole line of important Voyager, emotional, twinging, found family kind of stuff, which what Voyager is. Voyager is essentially a found family situation. The Doctor had a real family. Brad mentioned it, helping, and I mentioned too, helping Seven find her humanity. Him exploring his own rise to actually being a sentient being, not just a hologram, and having the relationships with the crew of Voyager, who he had relationships with going forward when they returned to Earth. That was a family. This example of them picking this episode, this is a bunch of idiots who don't know Star Trek reading the Wikipedia episode guide and saying, oh, they typed in doctor and family, and this is the one that popped up. They read the synopsis, they talked about it, threw a couple images behind him to show, look, here's your jangly keys, here's our respect to the lore, not realizing any real Voyager fan, any real Star Trek fan can immediately call you up for saying, wow, that's not his family. You could have told a real story with his real family and how he misses everything, which is something I said when he said to Sam episode ago, you live with it. There was opportunity, and because these people don't understand Star Trek, don't have any knowledge of the lore, they don't understand it. Go ahead.
Another just minor pushback. You could have even made and again, this is just if we were dealing with competent writers. We're obviously not, so just follow me here. you could end up making this throwaway episode actually have a little bit more impact with this episode. You could say that he actually did have some trauma from that, but he learned how to deal with it through his newfound family, even though he still doesn't like to talk about this made-up daughter that was given to him dying and stuff like that. You could still have this whole story arc that he's kind of kept that tucked away. That he doesn't want to show that to everybody else, even with 7 of 9 or any of these other aspects. There's still just a little bit there that you don't want to deal with, because there is a difference between like a father and a daughter, even if he has 7 of 9. There is still a difference with father and son, father and child. There's something else there that you could tap into. Say that he's been through all this other trauma, but he's just never really dealt with
meeting someone like Sam, though. He doesn't need to leap to a father-daughter relationship. That's just mentor-mentee. So it's like, I mean, I'll give you some advice, maybe let you know a little bit of my experiences. And old people are a lot of them are very much inclined to do stuff like that. I actually just watched the Scotty episode of TNG. They had to yell at him to get him to shut up about all the things he'd experienced.
I remember,
and I would have been just like Picard, like, tell me more.
The thing that Derby's bringing up a point. Fine, maybe he didn't talk about it, but again, I go back to someone in Star Trek who was traumatized, and the trauma never left. Even in the very last season, Picard season 3, he still had the Borg trauma. It never left. It was always there. Every time there was always some point, anytime that you would hear Picard's Borg trauma. Mm-hmm. I mean, and he lived with it. And that's what Robert told him. He's like, you have to learn to live with this. We just don't get that from the Doctor.
That was the whole premise of Star Trek Next Generation. Oh, fuck. I just watched the movie last week. What is
First Contact.
First Contact. A lot of that is his trauma with the Borg and now having to face off against the Borg Queen. Like, he's still dealing with all that. You have it takes competent writers to tackle these subjects.
And that's the problem.
They're not competent.
Mm-hmm. It's not incompetent. They're not actual Star Trek fans. As we just said, any true Star Trek fan, anybody who watched Voyager, knows Voyager, likes Voyager, could have come up with any number of descriptive ways the Doctor missed his actual family. And he hasn't mentioned that once.
They picked one hologram program he ran for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole purpose of it was he was trying just to understand human emotions. So he got it. He cataloged it. It's like, this is what loss feels like. And then what does he do with that? Like, don't forget, he was very close to Kes.
Mm-hmm.
He was close to Kes, and Kes went away. That affected him. You know, when 7 was having troubles and everything, he wanted to help 7 because, like, he knew the crew helped him become sort of human. We always have the alien character, and I sent Adam a copy of the Screen Rant. He said, "Finally, we have a character that has replaced Data, Sam."
No.
Finally. No. Well, Data's a great example of what the Doctor was going through and what you're talking about as well. It's an experiment. When Data made his daughter in that episode.
I was about to bring Lal up. I was just about. You want to talk about?
He moved past it though.
And here's the thing though. That happened in a couple of days. But to quote Data from First Contact, 0.05 seconds. That's an eternity for an android.
Mm-hmm.
Time he perceives time differently. But so at the same time. That was different. And at the time, Data didn't have emotion to deal with it. Mm-hmm. So he downloaded Lal's experiences and made him. So the Lal episode.
Building a child by hand is a lot more personal than, hey, a holodeck program, make a family for me like the 1950s. There's a big difference between those two events.
Yeah.
Building a child by hand and having a connection with them. That reminds me of the animated movie Robots, where that's how they get their children.
Oh yeah,
literally building it by hand.
A box gets shipped in the mail.
Again, a kids movie from years ago has more depth to it than this shit.
Now I'm thinking back to the freaking Lal episode, and I'm just remembering the Admiral coming in and saying like she's dying, and he's just describing how he's seeing Data, and like he was just seeing her as a machine to get. And basically what he's saying is like Data was just working so fast. He was, and he's a father, and he's like. He basically saying, I'm seeing a man trying to save his daughter. That's what he was really saying. And there was a connection there. Mm-hmm. And he carried Lal throughout. Because remember, he downloaded her memories. And Lal became part of him when he was reintegrated in Picard season 3.
Mm-hmm. And like Unholy Warriors, he says here, for $2, Picardo did ham it up in the crying scene. Picardo tried his best to make the scene something.
The dialogue was terrible, but I think he still gave a good performance for.
I said as much myself. Picardo did a good job, but the writing is dog shit because he doesn't remember.
The concept's
anything.
retarded.
He's the sole reason I say that entire segment is the best that we got was just because of Picardo's acting. That is solely the reason I like it. Is because of that. It's not good. I'm not giving it like A marks. This is like D, but it's just because Picardo.
It's the first D of the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's immediately followed up with abject stupidity. This hologram that's so broken and that they can't reset it, turn it on, talk to her.
She's not broken enough. She's too evolved.
But she's not broken enough for them to turn her back on and make her a child. They specifically said she's too broken to turn on. We can't roll her back. And then it's like, what if we turn her on and roll her back? That'll work.
Wait, did you hear they mentioned the emitter? It's not a fault with the emitter. Where's the emitter? They said that? They said it's not a fault with...
I heard that.
They treat her more like
does it float in her chest?
They treat her more
well,
like
he picked up something. I thought it was the
hologram.
emitter. Was that?
They treat her more like an android than a hologram.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
Some sort of
and then Aki's like, "You're not a machine." So
they treat her.
She's not. She's a program.
Different. She's supposed to be hard light. Tron. She's supposed to be something completely different. Yet they say that she's like Data. They think that a hologram equates to Data when no, Data is something completely different than a hologram. The Doctor is a hologram. Data is an android.
No, the analogy I make is the Doctor is the inhuman character being reflected back. That's why we always have in Star Trek an inhuman character that reflects back humanity. That's what Spock was. That's what Data was. That's what the Doctor was. That's what Seven was. I don't know who it was in Enterprise because I didn't
would
care.
it be Odo in DS9?
I think a little bit of Odo in DS9.
The inhuman character for Enterprise would have been the Spock stand-in who was also a Vulcan. I can't remember her name.
I'm just too busy focused on other things with Paul.
Well, listen, she was hot.
Two things.
Yeah. Decontamination chambers were awesome.
Had to do it by hand back then.
Hey, listen, Teal'c got him some of that.
Oh, that's right. He hooked up with Jolene Blaylock, the actor, not in real life, but
dude, she looked so hot as a Jaffa, dude. Hair all over the place. I loved it.
Look, she didn't have the Vulcan hair going on. Yeah,
I know who you're talking about, and God,
Jolene Blaylock. That's the bomb from Enterprise. Yeah, that once again, Stargate poaching the best guest stars. Always poaching the best guest stars.
And Picardo was great in Atlantis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, and he was in SG-1 a little bit.
So I got spoiled that he's going to be showing up there, and his 2 episodes of SG-1 were fucking fantastic. I am looking so forward to him.
Oh, his character arc's fantastic in Atlantis. It's brief,
he had
but free.
2 fucking brief episodes, had an entire character arc. I'm so hyped for him showing up. I'm giddy. I want to get there now. That's why I want to deal with more Atlantis and Stargate.
I feel that way. When I did my first rewatch of them together, I wanted to go to Atlantis.
I'm the only person here on this panel that truly enjoys seasons 9 and 10 on this.
I haven't been to seasons 9 and 10, so I can't say that I'm not going to enjoy them.
Okay. All right.
My interest quickly evolved to Atlantis when it was getting to the end of SG-1.
Anyway, so Sam gets fixed from a montage of getting Daddy Picardo Doctor. Where Jed, I was so annoyed because I was annoyed about losing my first thumbnail. Then I saw you.
Did I take your second one? Oh,
well, when I was scared, I'm like, that would be great. And then I saw, Jed took that one. Damn it! So I had to move on.
What was your thumbnail?
I did the doctor looking down.
Like this.
I paused on that too. So no, that's a thumbnail.
If I would have done a thumbnail, I probably would have done the doctor crying. I
did Tilly.
Would.
I just chose 2 crying women.
That also works.
There's
Point
a lot
is,
of crying. A lot of
crying.
emotions that should be there.
So we get a montage, and then everybody's talking. She comes back, and you know what I really caught at the end of that when Sam and the Doctor return? Remember how we talked about during her emissary episode how you thought that everybody waving to her in the hall was her own self-image? Well, now everybody's waving to her. She comes back. Welcome back. We're We're so happy to see you back. Oh, you're back.
It would have made more sense.
She
if they were
has
her
the.
own
She's the
self-opener.
sweetest person. She's so
She's
sweet.
our
greatest.
soul.
She's the best of them.
She's the glue that holds the team together,
It-
guys.
It
She
pisses
is.
me off.
They're making her that.
Yeah.
They make her the heart, but they're also doing it because she's retarded. So they're handling her with kids' gloves and saying,
Well,
"Well, if you're
well,
retarded,
here's
I
a
did
question.
also,
explains for
I did
everything."
also know she's got a more normal black girl hairstyle now that she's.
But it changes
had a
all the
dad.
time, so
Well,
we
that's
could,
because
it could
she had a
change again.
daddy.
We'll see what happens next
Well,
week.
what? Wait, why didn't Picardo look at her and go, "You need to eat healthier"?
I was gonna. Yeah.
Why don't we get some
Why
exercise?
did she
She's
get
still
fat again?
fat.
Why'd you let her get
She's a
fat again?
hologram, just programming. There's a little slider inside of her cell that controls how fat she is.
It's like when you're
But-
making your character in Baldur's Gate. How fat do I want
You
him?
can
Exactly.
change her. Fucking Caleb showed you can change her. And all of her powers are able to be changed manually. Make her thin and attractive and less black.
I want to know.
And
I
less
want to
autistic.
know. I want to know if she's still going to have the tisms.
We're gonna find out because here-
Probably.
I don't think they're going to remember anything in this episode. She's going to behave exactly the same. She's going to not, learn anything from this trauma. All the character arcs in the show are single moment, single episode arcs. Reminder from last week. What about the probation Genesis and Caleb were on?
it's been weeks.
Oh, that's a good
They
point.
did their 200 hours.
They
already.
did the
It's
200
done.
hours.
It's been weeks, Jed.
They went to Cask and did it in 2 minutes, so it's all done. We've already talked about like episodic versus serialized, and DS9 becoming more serialized versus episodic. This is like episodic, but they're trying to make it serialized. Like this episode, this episode, this episode, this episode. But you can't pick. When you have, first off, again, television's evolved from original series when all it was like, this happened this week, this happened this week. It's like, okay, these characters seem consistent. I think the television viewer is a lot more sophisticated now. They're looking for a lot more continuity. They're looking for a storyline. And episodic is pretty much just sitcoms these days, where you don't need to know the characters, know the storyline.
They've lost the formula for a sitcom too. They don't know how to make a sitcom anymore. They don't know how to do that either. That's gone.
I haven't watched. The last thing I see is like reruns of Big Bang Theory when I can't find the remote.
Yeah, I mean, point is this: we get to the end of this episode, everything's okay. Everything's okay.
That's how every episode ends.
Yes,
everything's fine. And to Jed's point, what are they going to do next week? I think. I wonder: are they going to have father-daughter conversations now, with 2 episodes to go?
They're going to forget it until the end, probably.
Next week is Mama She-Hulk because it's directed by Frakes.
It's
Frakes directs it.
Penultimate episode. Yes. We're getting into the finale.
Yes.
Oh, they don't have time for anything.
So it's going to focus primarily on Caleb for the last 2 episodes.
Yeah,
Everyone else is just going to be present.
Frakes said he directed the 9th episode, and Tatiana Maslany was there. So
Mommy She-Hulk is back.
Yep.
Well, it should be very annoying.
Hey, don't forget, we also got Chili getting congratulated for doing such a great job with the students.
Yeah,
Take pat her on the back.
I'm sure you love this, Brad. But in Aki's chamber, when Aki, Tilly, and Tignatara are all talking, Tilly calls them the women who time forgot.
Yeah,
I really latched onto that.
I said I wish, and then she said something about canoeing upstream is my optimism. So I don't know what it was. The line was so stupid, and I'm like, I don't even know what they're saying.
We're talking about.
That's all I heard. Cluck, 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 cluck,
We're
cluck.
talking
That's
about
all I
whatever
heard.
the fuck. What's the chance Dean, whatever the fuck her name is?
Holly Hunter.
Yeah, I completely blocked her out. And the only line I remember her saying is quite literally, she can have a childhood.
Here we go.
I hope she dies at the end, please.
I have the quote up. I have the transcript. We are the women time forgot. Optimism is me paddling my freaking canoe. Could someone tell me what that means?
Gay?
Life sucks. Everything's nihilistic, and I just be chipper so I don't drown in anxiety and depression.
I like to paddle canoes too. It's been a couple years since the last time I've been in a canoe, but
I don't want to be in a canoe.
And what was
Canoeing's right?
Don't forget. Holly Hunter asked him, "How did you process your trauma, Starfleet? What trauma? What trauma did you have?" I guess being on Discovery with Michael Burnham is very traumatic.
She's out of her
wait, you're talking
time.
about Tilly.
Everyone she knows is dead. Maybe
Wait, is
reflect
Tilly
that.
out of her time, or is the Michael
Both of
Burnham
them.
who's out of her time?
Both of them are. Anyone
Both
the
of them.
Discovery's out of the time. So is
Wait.
Tig Notaro.
So yeah,
So Tig
Tilly
Notaro-
and the science teacher are from nearly 1,000 years before the show. You'd think that their knowledge is a little out of date to be teaching.
But you don't need to when you're just teaching.
My
the
head
You
game.
broke him. You broke him.
My head hurts. I'm rebooting. What?
At the end,
Wait.
hold on, Dermy. At the end of season 2 of Discovery, they had to defeat the evil AI, which is going to take over the galaxy. So they lit up all 7 or 8 lights simultaneously throughout the galaxy, which everyone saw all at once because that's how the galaxy works. Also, sonar works in space. And then Michael Burnham got in an Iron Man suit, went into the future, took the AI and destroyed it, and then Discovery went along with it. And then to make certain that no one would remember the fact that the spore drive existed or the Section 31 had created an independent AI, everyone agreed not to talk about it. And Spock said, I will never talk about my sister again. And that's why we don't hear about Michael Burnham in original Star Trek.
So when are they
These
out
are
of
facts.
time?
So they're from before the original series.
They're from before
and-
Kirk.
So
From
season
before Kirk.
1 is before Kirk, or is the whole
Season 1
Discovery
and season
started
2.
out as another prequel show.
Yes.
Yeah, it started out as a prequel and then became a sequel. They wrote in an explanation for why Spock didn't talk about his secret black stepsister, and then
Or
they make
spore
fun of
drives.
history for not knowing about them.
You
Or
know
Spork
what? The
was
more
cool.
I hear about this, the more terrified I am for the Stargate reboot.
You should be.
The more I'm shitting.
You
bricks
will
every
be.
year.
Well, it's
It
2
will
years
be.
before we'll know anything more about that. So
When
we
I
need
find
to get
out
some
that
casting news.
when I find out that Stargate, like whatever it is, the one when they're, I guess, more out of
Universe?
the ship, universe.
Universe.
When I find out that that's better than what we're getting right now, I'm gonna be pissed.
Universe is better than what we're getting right now. Like, it's not great,
Oh, that's
but I still think
terrifying.
Universe Universe and
Here's-
Enterprise are very similar to me. Like, they're not great, but I'll still watch them and be fine.
I thought
Well,
Universe
Enterprise
was more
has-
downers than Enterprise. Enterprise had some
Yeah.
optimism to it.
yeah, I mean,
Universe was depressing, and the
Yeah, I
camera
felt like-
work was awful in Universe.
And dark, so dark. Everything was so
Mhm.
dark.
I saw the
Yeah.
trailers recently for at least 2 of the movies, like the Stargate, the Ark, and
Ark of
Stargate
Truth Continuum.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I need to look up which.
Well,
way to
you can't
them,
watch
but I saw
Ark of
the
Truth till
trail-
you finish SG1 season 10.
Yeah.
I saw the trailers for them, and it's like these look more fun.
Oh,
They're
Ark of
fun.
Truth is a lot of fun. But you
Especially
have to watch.
Continuum, because Jack O'Neill comes back, and I want Jack O'Neill.
Jack's there for a hot minute.
Yeah.
I want more
Definitely.
O'Neill.
Point is this: Ark of Truth. You need to have watched, finished SG1 season, all 10 seasons, and you have to be through part of Atlantis to understand the lore attached to it a little bit. So, but I love Ark of Truth. I think it's fantastic. It's
Hey,
a really
Adam,
good-
you want to explain to Dermy why there was no third TV movie?
Obama killed the DVD market.
He has a whole rant about it. It's hilarious.
It's true. Obama killed the economy, and Barry killed the straight to DVD market in 2009.
You know,
That's why we didn't
Sounds
get
like-
extinction.
you know what? Barry needed the Doctor as a father. I'm trying my hardest right now not to go
Well,
on an
we
entire
know- we
racist
know.
rant.
We know about Barry's dad, don't we?
Oh, yeah,
Anyway,
that's true.
before we
I'm
get
trying
into
my
trouble,
hardest right now not to go on a bad rant. So let's try to move on.
well,
okay?
we
Because
can
I'm
go
gonna
on to
be
the end.
pissed.
We're done. We're done. We have beat ourselves.
We're
enough
done
with
with
this.
them closing out the entire show in darkness, just like the doctor said. Our town.
Oh, the
Holly
black and
Hunter's
white shit
babbling.
was so pretentious.
Well,
Black and white has been so abused by modern
didn't-
pretentious
I've
people.
I still have yet to look into our town or what the story is or anything like this. But the
It's
doctor goes like,
garbage.
it
There.
starts in darkness and ends in darkness and all this stuff. And then,
It's,
then
it's
I
a
start
metaphor
looking-
for life, for God's
No, no,
sake.
no.
Well, then I
Give me a
start-
We can't
looking
have
at
him
it.
rant. He's going to say things on my channel.
I will
Jed's
say
channel we don't want
stuff
him to.
that
Okay.
is not
Go to his channel.
good. Okay,
break. Here we go.
even
These
then on
are
my
the
channel,
last
I'll be
lines.
pulled back. But the
These are
whole
the last
point,
lines by Holly Hunter.
it took me
Live.
once they explained that all, I realized this entire episode is just our town. That's all
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah.
Is they're talking about our town while
They're
doing
ripping
our
off yet
town.
another thing because they have no creativity.
Life is heartbreaking. Gorgeous blip in the universe. Everything matters and nothing does. What has always been certain, time is both forever and achingly finite. But what a shame I would not be to not live in every moment.
And while everybody's hugging,
I literally need the subtitles to understand her these days.
All that stuff could be interesting if they were smarter, but it sounds just pretentious at this time.
It is. It does.
dumb.
It's
So
like
pretentious.
exactly. Look how smart I am. It's literally like I'm using such big words. You don't even understand what I'm saying, but it is important.
The concept of time being finite has been done over and over again, but you can always do
But
it.
it's
in a
also
unique
infinite.
way.
Because
And
the
it
doctor
could be
exists
me.
outside of it. He's the observer, just like the stage manager.
They keep forgetting that Holly Hunter's also hundreds of years old. Like that's just a gimmick that they mention occasionally.
Yeah.
I want to see the psychology of it.
Wait.
I prefer
After
it when
all
the
these
other
years-
doctor is involved.
You have the EMH who's 900 years old. You have Holly Hunter who's 400 plus years old. I remember there were some shows where maybe a 900-year-old creature with pointy ears and green was among the wisest of all the Jedi. Where's the wisdom? Where's the knowledge they gain? They act like fucking morons. They
The
are
knowledge
like,
is-
they, oh,
let's
you know,
get
oh
to
my
They
it.
God,
called
you know,
Holly
there's
Hunter
no-
a rebel too, like Caleb. They're like, oh, you're just
well,
like
Cable
Caleb.
was a rebel.
Where,
Cable was a
where's
rebel.
the ancients? And I say this, where's the ancient being that knows what all they have to deal with, but is still dealing with it at like a
It
slow
should be
pace?
Holly Hunter should be she technically speaking, a 400-year-old Starfleet officer should be the ideal chancellor. The problem is the character is being written by a bunch of millennials and Gen Zers who are writing themselves into the character. They are not able to imagine a sage-like character. They can't write for Gandalf. That's it.
The chat said it earlier while we were talking about stuff. These people write their experiences, but they have no life experience.
Mhm.
You can only write what you know, and these people know nothing.
And that's why Sam had
Absolutely
trauma.
nothing.
But
No life experience.
that's true. They only write what you know, but at the same time, like I'm working on my own little things, and I started playing around with it again. I'd like to write about trauma in my own way, but I don't have the trauma that I want to write about, so I'm going to research it. I'm going to do work on it and talk
That doesn't make
to
any
people
sense for
about
me.
it.
That doesn't make any sense.
Why would you do work?
Because
sounds
I want
rough.
my
AI
thing
do
to
it
at
for
lea-
you.
I want
Yeah.
my stuff to at least be okay, if not good.
Well,
I don't
I
want
don't
my
understand
stuff
your
to
point.
be too bad to wipe my dog's ass with when she gets incontinent.
you know what'll make you feel good though? For third week in a row, this show didn't hit any of the ratings at all. Hell,
we're getting-
Wonder Man appeared. This didn't.
That's
shit.
embarrassing.
That are you talking?
I forgot
about
Wonder Man
Nielsen?
even came out. I didn't even watch it.
Wonder Man ranked 8 in originals, 618
I'm-
million minutes views,
I'm curious.
and this
I'm
show
gonna-
didn't even track.
I'm going to Samba real quick because I want to see.
I'm just glad there are only 2 more episodes of this. We're almost done.
For
And
now.
a season,
For
and
now,
a
of
season,
course.
and a season that Paragon Skydance might force to make them do a series finale at the end of it. I've heard that.
Motherfucker.
What'd you do?
As of right now, no, this is February 17th because we haven't had the weekly update, I guess, for
Mhm.
Samba TV. So last week, still Fallout Season 2 was on Samba TV at number 5. So we still haven't got
That ended like 3 weeks ago now.
No, this is for February 28th through the 8th. So Samba TV hasn't put out like updated info since then. And the reason why I wanted to check Samba TV is because I don't know what other shows would be playing at the time to possibly be up in contention. But
There's
I
not a whole
didn't
lot of
realize
competition right now.
Bridgerton is apparently
Well,
Really? There's a new
all right,
season?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a new
there
season.
is.
The Bridgerton's
Yeah.
always going to get big numbers because
Mhm.
fat white chicks and
And-
wine.
white chicks, period, and wine. And the reason why I bring that up is how long is that going to be, and is that going to be enough to keep it out of the top 10? Period.
It's Netflix, so it should be batch drop.
Oh, we've seen Ferengi. They look nightmarish. We've
Oh,
seen
yes.
them. They look completely nightmarish.
Do
I
not
have not
umox those
seen them.
Ferengi.
Oh no.
I want to look up Ferengi and ST.
There we've always seen them in the show. We've seen them. There's a cadet who's a Ferengi. There's a
Yeah,
cadet who's
do not
Ferengi.
umox that Ferengi.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. I guess next week we get Space Mommy She-Hulk and Tatiana Maslany. Now, I have a feeling that the show will at least look right because Frakes is a good director. Frakes is a good director, so might at least look right. But either way, we're done. Let's say our farewells and go have more fun than talk about this dumb show the rest of the night. Brad, what you got going on?
Wormhole Watch on my channel. Of course, my reviews from Starfleet Academy. I'm hopefully maybe have to get some work done later tonight. Edit a Latinum Lounge where before we watch Wormhole Watch, we talk about Starfleet Academy, and we have Hitman have a meltdown trying to cope, and he hasn't even been watching as long as us. And also waiting to hear back from YouTube on partnerships. So
nice.
You should hear us soon.
It goes pretty quickly, and you should be fine because you don't have objectionable material like I did when
I mean, I have content ID, but that just means it goes to other people. That's fine.
Yeah. No, I mean, like they do. No, not that. No. I mean, like they scan everything, whether or not you're gonna make it in. I took me.
Are you gonna say
slurs
or not?
Reviews. Anyway, all right, excellent. And I will be there, of course, tomorrow night for another Wormhole Watch, where it's still gonna be a cringe ass episode. It's a cringe one tomorrow night. It's not the Nog stuff is good, but the Kira Oda stuff is just terrible.
Oh, I know.
But I remember what happens, so it should be good.
Yep.
I'll have to dance around like I always do when I know exactly what's happening and I can't comment because
can't say anything about certain things.
That's a massive twist tomorrow night too, because it's what happens at the end there. It's like, okay, the whole thing was a sham. Anyway, Jed.
Well, everyone can find me on YouTube at Endless Frontiers. I will be live in half an hour now playing some more Resident Evil Requiem. We're going through at a really good pace. We'll see how much we can get through tonight. Then, of course, on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing the Right or Flight podcast once again. And this week we have some very exciting news about the Artemis program. There's a new future for it that we're going to break down. I think it'll be pretty exciting. And of course, Chat Choose Your Own Adventure will be a part of that as well. For members of my YouTube channel, as of about 10 minutes before we went live for this stream, I finished the Story Forge episodes. Santa's Claus, the short story you all paid me to write about how Santa's actually Satan, and he sends a demon cosplaying as a Christmas elf back in time to steal the manger from baby Jesus, so the story's not cool enough for Christmas to be about Christ. So that story is finished and available for YouTube members. There will be artwork for it very soon.
There's a lot of crack involved with that.
There was a lot of crack involved. Then, of course, check out Endless Frontiers books to get an exclusive short story that begins my science fiction universe with the Brighton pacification. So Endless Frontier books to check that out.
Okay, Dermy.
Hi, I'm Dermy Wormy of Dermy Wormy. You guys can check me out here at about an hour and a half or so, where I will be talking about some latest VTuber updates. I have one VTuber's graduation stream where we're going to cheer and dunk on her a little bit because she's retarded. We also have another VTuber stepping out and making a political statement on the day. Maybe she probably should have thought that through a little bit harder. It's an anti-war statement, and the imagery she made kind of puts America as the bad guys. So there's that, and also some more leaflet drama that I was asked to cover on Thursday, and well, now it's time to cover it. So we'll be doing that, and then also some more Final Fantasy stuff. Then, if you guys weren't there last night, Ballbusters is coming to an end. We will be doing our last episode on the 13th of March, but we might have something else in the works, and I think Jed actually gave me a great title for the new show.
Right. So mine was worthless, huh?
Jed gave me a good title that I actually think I can work with.
I have to give credit to my wife. She's the one who made up that one.
Yeah, that one
it stood out.
I sent Jed a little thing. I'll read it to you after the stream, because I think I could work with this one a little bit. And I might get somebody to do a little voiceover for an intro.
Anyway, as for me, I'm going to take a little dinner break, and then we're going to try and finish up Voyager Across the Unknown for our first playthrough. We're pretty much at the end. I think we'll get it done relatively short amount of time. But, chat, you guys have been so great tonight. It's February. I got 5 more to give you guys. Here's another 5 free memberships to the channel. So there you go, guys. You get access to a lot of old, essentially, gaming streams from the past few years that have been basically membershiped up. You can watch those. We're talking dozens of hours of just me playing. And if you haven't checked it out, within those are, I believe, my Star Wars The Old Republic playthroughs for where I'm replaying stories, which we're going to be doing more of on this channel real soon, because I have all that. I've 24 characters, and we're re-up for a month. So we'll play this Voyager. And since you guys have seemed to overwhelmingly said go for it, we will be streaming some Star Wars Old Republic over the next few days. Whenever Jed gets back into it, I'll be there to help him out. We got a Flashpoint, the very first one to get to. It'd be fun. Other than that, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, round table, where we will, of course, talk some of the important stuff of the week, have our own special takes on it, and I'll be with Brad on Wormhole Watch. And then next week, we begin the week again. The Daily Dive, the Double Ds, every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, where you guys help me struggle session my way through coping with all this nonsense by making me suffer, because it's the fun thing to do. And guess what, guys? In 2 days, my strike is gone.
Hey.
My strike is gone in 2 days.
Don't tell Kratos.
We're still going to be patient until Kratos fucks me over again.
To be fair, his fuck over wasn't his fault. It was Fox being retarded, because I played that on stream.
You did?
Yes, I played that one on stream.
Oh, well, no, it wasn't Fox. It was the affiliate. It was well, for me, it was the affiliate that one of the big ones that we had heard about recently. They are the ones that hit. They're the ones that complained.
Which is retarded.
Retarded. But still, either way, we're done here. Thank you, chat, for joining us today. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Show the love. Hit the like button. Links are in the description below. Go subscribe. I can speak. I'm thinking about dinner now. That's my problem. I'm thinking about food. Anyway, go subscribe. We'll catch you guys next time. Until then, take it easy, everybody.